Welcome to the Over 40 Alpha Podcast with your host, Funk Roberts.
We are live, people. And welcome to the Over 40 Alpha Podcast. This is episode number 85. And I'm your host, Funk Roberts. And if you're new to the podcast, you don't know who I am. As I mentioned before, my name is Funk Roberts. I'm a former professional athlete turned online fitness expert. And I'm known around the world as the guy who helps men in their late 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, and beyond get into the best shape of their life, completely transform their bodies, transform their lives, transform their health through our pillars. We've got 6 main pillars of health: mindset, recovery, sleep, nutrition, workouts, and of course, supplementation. And I run the Over 40 Alpha Brotherhood with over 13,000 members, paying members from all over the world, all men who have completely transformed their lives and are in the forefront of health and being in the best shape of their lives in the latter part of their lives. And so one of the things that we do every single Sunday at 10 a.m. every Sunday is we have our live coaching calls where I'll come on and our coaching calls are very valuable because one, it brings everyone together. If they're on Zoom, so it brings all of the brothers together. Number 2, I'm able to coach, share, connect with my Over 40 Alpha brothers. And 3, it allows them to connect with each other, right? Because, although we have a very strong and powerful Facebook group where they connect, and some, a lot of times guys, now that the things are opening up or opened up throughout the world, guys are now connecting with each other. They go meet up with each other if they live in the same country, in the same city. It's incredible. The support that they give each other. These are men in the later part of their lives who, when they come into the program, are at their worst, right? They don't know, they've either, 300 pounds obese, they either have, chronic illnesses, belly fat they can't lose, et cetera, injuries, et cetera, health problems, and all of that gets turned around when it's a lifestyle. And so, once in a while, I like to share those coaching calls with you guys, because just like last week was a coaching call. And I'd like to share that information because it's powerful information that, of course, my brothers need to know, and they get to know us on Sunday. But you guys also, I want to share with the listeners, share with the people watching. And so this episode is, we're going to talk about the top immune boosters, the top ways to strengthen your immune system, because right now things are starting to ramp up again in regards to viruses. We're starting to see different variations, different variants across the world, and more people are getting sick. More and more people are getting catching the virus. And so, for me, it's important because when you get, like, I've had COVID 2 times, and I've been vaccinated, but I still have COVID 2 times, and there's a lot of things that happen to our body when we get it, right? It's not just, I can just fight it off or whatever. There's a lot of things around our lives that get changed. That because we get this, we can't go places. Because we get this, we can't interact with people because we don't want to spread it. When we get it, it affects our immune system. It weakens our testosterone. Specifically, if you're a man, your testosterone levels will decrease. There's studies behind that. And depending on how bad you get it, it just takes time and a while to get back on track. It disrupts your momentum. And some people get long COVID and long issues. So one of the things that still upsets me, and a lot of us in this industry, is that, let's just pretend that 2.5 years ago, when all of this started, that they could still be talking about what they're talking about and doing, locking down and all that stuff. But imagine if they pushed every single time they got on the media, they also pushed getting healthy. They also talked about how you can get healthy, how you can improve your health, giving you tips, tricks, all of those things. I mean, I was saying it. I mean, I created during the lockdowns, my business blew up because everything is online. So I provided everybody follow along online workouts they could do at home. That was where I stepped up to the plate, and a lot of others. But imagine how less the deaths would have probably been if people started to focus on their health during this whole 2.5 years. Imagine 2.5 years later, what you would look like, what you would feel like, how much of a beast you would be. I know the guys in my Over 40 Alpha program are so thankful because during the lockdown, you know, I've had my program for years. I've got over 3 years of programming. During the lockdown, they were good. They were good. They were increasing their immunity. They were losing belly fat. They were changing, you know, their health. So they were becoming hard to kill. They were strengthening their armor. But imagine if that could have been shared with the world. So on today's podcast, because things are ramping up, and we cannot take this lightly. Okay, we cannot take this lightly because, like I said, it's not just about getting it; it's about how it disrupts your life, right? So you may not even be able to go to work, or go to the gym, or go to school that you pick up your kids. You know, there's so many things that happen around that get disrupted if you're out for a long period of time. Because what I'm about to tell you is not going to protect you from getting any viruses. Well, some viruses, just not the variant right now. But what it will do is it will help you fight it off quicker, faster, keep your body strong, get you recovered quickly so you can get back into the swing of things and not have you out. We have to do our part. And our part is, and it's not just, these strategies aren't just for this, it's for your life. These are the 8 top immune boosting strategies for your life. You know, because our immune system is an incredible machine, and it's responsible for keeping our bodies safe from, you know, outside invaders like virus and bacteria and fungus and toxins and all of these things that we get exposed to on a daily basis, right? So we have to really make sure that you know, the immune system, which are our organs and our cells and proteins and skin cells and blood and bone marrow and tissue and all of those things, our lymph and thymus glands, all the things that are included, our gut, right? When we can strengthen our immune system, it'll be our best defense when we get infection, or when we get viruses, or when we, you know, fight, when we get colds, or if we're put in situations that are not, you know, the environment is not a very clean environment, right. So, but again, it's very, you know, a lot of times it's difficult to know, okay, so what should I be doing, Funk? What are the things that I need to do? What should I start focusing on? You know, so today we're going to go through that, things that you can focus on. I'm going to let you know what it is. And basically in this coaching call, I talked about the things that we need to start doing in order to strengthen our immune system. And, you know, if you want more information on like the tips and tricks and like, okay, well, let's say one of them is sleep. Okay. One of them is sleep. Right. And I tell you, and I'm going to go through how sleep affects our immune. That's how this podcast episode is going to go. Like you're saying sleep, because, you know, when you read stuff in the paper, oh my God, how old am I? When you read stuff online, or, you know, there's these videos that are out there, like, you know, top 8 reasons to, or you go on different fitness websites, top 8 ways to do this, they kind of floss over it, right? Sleep 7 to 9 because it makes you this, but I go a little bit deeper, right? So you understand, because I always say, the more you understand, the more you educate yourself, the more power you're going to have and understanding, and it's going to be retained in your brain, and it's going to seep into your lifestyle, because you understand now. You're not just blindly doing it because they told you follow this diet because this is why. You have no clue. This is what's good. Sorry, follow this diet because this is what it's going to do for you. You don't have a clue why and how. You're just like when I ask people about, you know, fasting or keto or whatever the hell, paleo or whatever, they can't tell me why they like exactly how fasting does what. They're like, oh yeah, I fast for a couple of times, but I was wondering, because I do have fasting in my Over 40 Alpha program. And so, there's guys who will say, oh yeah, I fasted before and, yeah, I saw, I lost some weight or whatever. So, Funk, can I fast on this program? And I'll say, yeah. So why did you fast last time? Like what was the fasting you did and how did it affect you? And do you know how it works? And 99% of the time it's always, I don't know. I just fasted and it worked. Right. And so that's why it's difficult to stay on stuff like that. Because if you have no clue how fasting works and what the science and research and what's behind it, you don't have to go deep. But if you don't have any understanding, you just do it because you were told to do it because your buddy did it, or people are saying you did it, or you listen to Joe Rogan and some guy said it, they fasted, or some guy said this, or some guy said that, and you still don't understand. You just tried it and it was working for a bit, but then it stopped working. And now you're back to square one because you have no clue why it stopped working. But if you know about these things, then you know why you need to do this. Then it becomes a lot clearer. Oh, I need to do this because this is what's going on in my body when I don't. This is what hormones it affects when I don't. This is what happens to my immune system when I don't. And then the next thing is, no wonder I feel like this. No wonder I look like this. No wonder this is happening. No wonder I'm always getting this virus or this fungus or this bacteria. I'm trying to empower you. I'm trying to empower us so that we can empower our kids, our grandchildren, our family, and the people around us. So let's get started. This is a coaching call on immunity. I hope you guys enjoy it. Before we go, I've got one last thing that I'll be quick about this because I know you want to dive into it. But this episode is sponsored by my new Alpha Max Test 3D extra strength testosterone booster. This is amazing powder. It's a cherry powder. And myself and Dr. Stephen Anton, we created this from scratch. We put in some of the strongest, not only testosterone boosting, because this is going to boost your levels, right? This is going to increase your levels. A lot of testosterone boosters don't do that. But we also put ingredients in here to help maximize and optimize your hormones. So decreasing cortisol, managing cortisol, decreasing the estrogen, the bad estrogen. We need a little bit, but decreasing that because estrogen is the female hormone. That's what's causing a lot of belly fat and man boobs, as well as the cortisol. And of course, cortisol is a stress hormone, which causes a lot of other chronic diseases. But we also put stuff in here for energy. We also put stuff in there for blood flow, for metabolic health, to help you with strength, to help you with muscle building, to help you with fat loss. This and it's all of these ingredients were backed by science research. We looked at the science, we looked at the research, and we put the dosage from the research that we saw. So if the research said that this ingredient helped increase testosterone levels by 20% through this 8-week study or whatever it is, then that was the amount we put in. Because a lot of times you'll see that most supplement companies, of course, because they want to cut corners, they want to make money. And I don't blame them. They want to make money, right? This is what you're getting into business with. But for me, I want to create the best supplement that's going to get you results and keep you coming back. Most guys will say, oh yeah, I have this in. Oh, I've got that in mine, but I only have this much in. I'm kind of like flaking in it. I'm just like kind of like throwing flakes in this. We made sure that when we could, which is most of the ingredients, because we have to get past by FDA, it's the actual ingredient, it's actual dosage from the research. So, this is great. Anyways, go to funksupplementsshop.com, funksupplementsshop.com, use podcast 10 and get my Alpha Max test. Order it now, guys. It's on sale. Order it now. Order 3 bottles. It's cherry flavored powder, so you can put it in your smoothies. You can put it in your greens powder. You can put it in your breakfast. You can put it in your after workout. You can put it in your pre-workout. You can put it anywhere you want. It's cherry flavored and it tastes absolutely incredible. So grab it now. Use podcast 10 to save an extra 10% off. Go to funksupplementsshop.com, Alpha Max Test 3D. And let's get started. Enjoy the podcast. Today, we're going to talk about how to boost our immunity because once again, the pandemic viruses, they're starting to pick up. And, even though we're not hearing too much about it, depending on where you live, you may be hearing a lot. I know in Canada here, we don't hear that much, but I'm sure we're going to, because it is starting to overflow in the hospitals. And I know there's some places in the US, like I think it's California or Los Angeles, they're starting to mask up again indoors. So I think that's happening next month, I believe. So it's like the infections are starting to happen again. So as I mentioned before, it's very important that we focus now and refocus if we aren't on our immune, and how to boost it, how to keep it strong. So if we get it, we can recover. Or, obviously we just want to be able to have a strong immune, so that if we do get it, then we're strong. We can overcome it faster. We can recover faster, because when we do get these, COVID or whatever it is, it puts us out, right? Puts us out from training, puts us out from everyday life, puts us out from work, puts us out from a lot of stuff. And so we want to be able to recover. And of course, it does affect our hormones, affects our testosterone. It affects other hormones in our body, and it makes it tougher for us to come back. And then some people, they get long COVID, or it affects them long term. And that has a lot to do with how strong your immune system is when you get it, right? Because sometimes if your immune is low, it's a perfect time to jump in and attack and take over. And then even though you're strong and healthy regularly, all it takes is a little door for that to pop in and really overwhelm your body. And so we want to make sure at this point we go back and we just need to take inventory on some of the things I'm going to talk about. Am I on top of all of these things? Do I have all of these things? Am I taking these supplements? Am I eating these type of foods? Am I keeping these foods out of my body? And do I understand why? Because it all comes down to understanding and learning, right? I can tell you, you got to take this, you got to take this, you can't do this, you can't do this. But if you don't know why, then it's not going to be, you're going to be like, okay, he told me to take this, but why the hell am I taking this anyway? If you understand, I'm taking this because this does this for my body. This damages this. So I'm going to just go through, some of the top immune boosters, some of the things we need to look at specifically. We have a great program right now. The foundation is set with nutrition. The foundation is set with our recovery. The foundation is set with the workouts and the workout schedule. That's not overtraining, but it's enough for the week to keep us healthy. We've got mobility, and yoga and things to keep our body supple. I'm always talking about, in the first coaching call of the month, I talk about mindset. I always talk about mindset and things we can do to keep our stress levels down, to keep our cortisol levels at bay. So that's another thing. Sleep, we're always talking about sleep. So all of these things are part of the program, but just because it's part of it doesn't mean that we're actually doing it. So that's why I want to make sure that, this is top of mind specifically now. Our immune system's it's an incredible machine. It keeps our body safe from, outside invaders, viruses, bacteria, fungi, toxins. And we've got two parts of our immune system. We have the innate system, the non-specific system, the part that we're born with. And then we have the adaptive system, the stuff that is exposed from the environment. Okay. So those are the two systems that we have. So we've got to think about both of those. And our immune is made to, our immune basically is made of organs. It's made of cells. It's made of proteins. So, our skin cells, blood, bone marrow, tissues, organs, all of those things, lymph nodes, lymph glands, all those things are in and part of our immune system. So a strong immune system is the best way we can fight illnesses. We can fight infection. Remember, I didn't say we are not going to get those, but if we do get it, we can fight them off. Hard to kill, right? We want to fight all of these things, specifically the things that change our body, because our immune system has three main tasks. Number one, the main task is to fight pathogens, fight disease-causing germs like the viruses, like the bacteria, fungi, parasites, all of those things. Our immune is there to get that out of our body. Number two, our immune is there to recognize and neutralize harmful substances from the environment, right? So if we touch something that's like oil or whatever, our immune is there to help neutralize it, recognize, okay, that's what that is. Okay, we can handle that. And number three, it's there to fight disease-causing causes that change our body, like cancer, right? Cancer cells and all of those things that cause death. So those are three main tasks for our immune. So our immune is activated by what are called antigens. These are things that the body doesn't recognize that belong there. So that's how it's activated. So, and these are proteins that you will find on bacteria, on viruses, et cetera. So our immune gets activated. They see all these antigens, like, wait a minute, what's going on? And when we come into contact with these antigens, then all of these processes start to stimulate our immune system inside, the metabolic processes that go on inside to help, like I say, neutralize, get things that need to get out, keep things that are there, and make us stronger against future viruses or future diseases, right? So we can have a very powerful immune system, but we have to make sure that we keep it safe and that we're on top of it. And that comes to what we do with our body and our health. So I'm going to go through some of the top, ways to keep our immune system strong and healthy. So the first thing is getting plenty of sleep. This is one of the things that we can control, but we always use outside things in our lives as excuses why we can't get enough sleep, right? Like yes, obviously there's a lot of people with sleep issues, with sleep apnea, et cetera, but that also has to do with health and lack thereof. So not getting enough sleep can lower our immune response and leave us to succumb to infection. We know this. We all know this. Like, there's a study that showed that there was 164 adults who slept 6 hours a night, and most of those people caught colds. The ones who slept less caught colds. The one who slept longer didn't. And when you're sleep deprived, it puts stress on our hormones. Like, our cortisol levels increase, right? Our testosterone levels decrease, specifically because testosterone is made in the mornings. So we need to be sleeping. We need to be in nice, deep sleep in order for that production to start, specifically if we have the cholesterol to get that started. Also, when we don't get enough sleep, it takes us longer to recover, right? And as we get older, it already takes us longer to recover. It already takes us longer to recover from things. So we need to get that much sleep. And when we can't recover, our body can't make enough antibodies to fight off these diseases because we're not rested. We don't have that rest in order to do that. That's why we don't work out 5-6 days a week, 6 days a week, because it'll break down our body and our body won't be able to recover and get all these antigens. It's not just about losing weight and getting ripped. There's more to this whole lifestyle than just that. Also, our body releases cytokines, which are special proteins that help the immune system. And that only happens when we're sleeping. So again, if we're not sleeping, then our body's not releasing cytokines, which will help our immune system. And that helps us to heal, that helps us to regenerate, and all of this stuff happens while we're sleeping. So typically we should be getting 7 to 9 hours sleep. Again, just because you get 10 hours sleep doesn't mean it needs to be quality, right? We need to first we need to get the 7 to 9. Then we need to kick up the quality of our sleep, making sure that it's good quality sleep throughout the night. People who get 8 hours of sleep generally have, there's a study that showed in 2019 study, so very recent, that people who slept the full 8 hours had more T cells than people who slept less. And the T cells are, again, very powerful cells that will help us fight off colds, funguses, viruses, et cetera, or help us to recover quickly from it. And of course, it's how we feel the next day, right? How do you feel the next day? When you guys know, 2 days of bad sleep, man, it's a struggle. It is a struggle to stay awake. It's a struggle to be focused. It's a struggle to be present, not only at work, but for your kids, for your family, for your mood, for your workouts, right? The injuries, those are when little injuries happen, when you're not focused, when you're too tired, when you're mentally too tired, right? It affects our brain. So getting enough sleep is going to be key. And, we have a bunch of, ebooks that talk about how to get better sleep. So I'm not going to dive too deep into it. But, we can do something specific on that on another day, but I just want to give you guys the information on you got to get enough sleep. And those are the reasons why, specifically with the immune, let alone our hormones. Number 2, staying active. So we already do this, which is great. But again, it's the prolonged intense exercise. It's the 60 minutes a day, specifically if you're just getting into this program and you're thinking, Funk, why are we only working out 4 days a week? And why is there 2 days of mobility? And why is there a rest? Like, aren't we supposed to be working out more? Like, isn't that what we're supposed to be doing? No, we're not. We're supposed to be working out the way we work out. No matter, now, if you're 20 years old, sure, you can go ham. But at our age, it's the quality of the workout. It's 20, 30 minutes, and you're going intense. You're getting the most out of that workout. Then you're recovering. You're stretching after your mobility or yoga or the whatever alpha ROM routine you're doing, because prolonged exercise will kill our immune system, right? When we moderate exercise can increase vaccine effectiveness, not saying the vaccine, I'm just saying when we get things like, for us, when we travel to Thailand, we have to get specific vaccines in order to fight off things in other countries. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about the other thing. I'm just talking about other ones. Okay, I'm not doing that. I'm just letting you know that when we do exercise, it will help us boost our immune system. It'll help keep our immune system healthy by the antibodies, and the white blood cells will move around more rapidly, which will help detect germs. It will help detect things around us. So being active the way we are will help lower our stress hormones in the long run, right? Reducing chances of us getting sick. How many times do we say we got I had a horrible day today, and you go out and you work out, or you hit the bag, or, you just do some, and then you feel better. You start to feel better. You release all of that stuff, whether the workout was an anger workout just to get it out of your system. But if you hold on to that, then, then you're going to keep that cortisol. First of all, Scott, I love that picture, by the way. I saw that just popped up. Sorry. My mind just got, me, I'm easily. So the exercise, again, like I said, it circulates our antibodies and our white blood cells much more rapidly, which will help us from getting sick. There's a recent study that showed 1,000 people, those who exercise at least 4 times a week had almost half the risk of coming down with the common cold than people who are sedentary, right? But again, working out too much, working out too many times, that's going to go the opposite direction. So regular exercise can reduce inflammation. And that's another reason why we have that mobility, have the yoga, have the stretching after, have the alpha ROM, because too much inflammation will decrease our immunity, our immune cells. So right off the bat, exercise does increase our inflammation. It does, but it's the things that we do afterwards that'll help reduce it. And that's why we go moderately. That's why we don't. And when I say moderate, I mean moderate in the programming, not moderate in the workout. Workouts are tough. All right. Another thing is, and I'm gonna pile on this because it's summertime right now in our part of the world, and working out outside, right? Vitamin D, the sunlight that stimulates T cells. Vitamin D has pretty much been thrown down our throats. The only great thing when it comes to what happened in the pandemic when it talked to, when in the health realm, because no one talked about health. No one talked, not still to this day, they have not talked about getting enough sleep, exercising, losing the fat, losing the weight, eating healthy. Still. It's just get this vaccine, get this, wear masks. Not once, still to this day. It's unbelievable. Get the third boost, get the 10th boost. Still not saying, hey, dude, you're a doctor, you're a scientist. Why don't you preach about, getting healthy, having a healthy, imagine 2 years ago, sorry, I'm just going on a bit of a rant here, but I'm just a little bit. I want you guys to imagine 2 years ago, if they started talking about, they said they could have talked about everything else, but if they added, hey, guys, if you continue to eat healthy, here's a perfect healthy nutrition plan, here's a workout thing you can be doing, getting more sleep, and they kept preaching that, imagine how much healthier this world would be, because they had the information. Because aside from talking about masking up and everything else, they also told us to stay healthy, that it was in our power to stay healthy, so that when we do get it, we don't die because we have obesity, or we have type 2 diabetes, or we have comorbidities. Imagine that 2 years later, 2.5 years later, this world will be shredded as far as I'm concerned. But back to what I'm saying. The only good thing they talked about was vitamin D. They talked about vitamin D. Many studies came out about vitamin D. Many studies came out about the effects of vitamin D, and how much vitamin D we don't have, and how much, the people who had a lot of vitamin D helped with their immune to fight off infection, et cetera, et cetera. So they did talk a lot about vitamin D. There were a lot of studies about the effectiveness of vitamin D, and it continues to be out there. So we all know, from now, at least at this point, we should know the power of vitamin D. We get it through sunlight. So the more you can work out outside, the more you can be outside when you can, depending on where you live. Get outside, get outside. Work out outside, get that vitamin D in the morning. As soon as you wake up in the morning, get outside. As soon as you wake up, have your water, go outside and get 5-10 minutes of vitamin D. Go for a walk around the block. If you have animals or dogs or whatever, perfect time. Get up, drink your water, get outside, get that vitamin D, start that get the circadian rhythm, balanced, get the immune system, get the vitamin D. You don't have to stare at the sun, although I do, but you don't have to. Just get out there, work out outside if you can. Take advantage of this. We work out on right out here on our patio upstairs at the top of our house wall, right out here. Specifically now. And again, as we get older, if we're darker skin color, in general, the world and many people in the world are vitamin D deficient. We don't get enough, depending on where you live in the world, when there's not a lot of sun, right? So we want to make sure, and vitamin D is great for testosterone. So again, if you can work out outside, specifically now, even if it's in your backyard, even if it's on your in your driveway, do it. Get out there, get outside, get that vitamin D going. All right. So next up is whole foods, whole plants, whole fruits. Okay. So today's diet, we know, very processed. Processed diets cause inflammation to our body. Processed diets kill our immune system big time, right? They're trying to, no, I'm not preaching here. You got to keep me from preaching, guys. They're trying to kill us. Raw vegetable. When I say raw vegetables, I mean, fruits, vegetables, whole foods. Those are the things that we need to get into our body on an ongoing basis. That's why when we break up the plate, even though carbohydrates are starchy carbs, so complex carbs, simple carbs, and fruits and vegetables. Fruits and vegetables are part of the carb family, but I break those two apart, because if I don't do that, then we're not going to have that fourth quadrant, which is the important quadrant, which is fruits and vegetables, depending on what meal you're eating, right? get your fruits and vegetables specifically now. Go to a farmer's market if you can. Go support your local farmer's market. You know, it may be a little bit longer of a drive, but the fruit and vegetables you get from that, ooh, like talk about the difference. Organic, go organic as much as possible. Yes, it's going to cost a little bit more. I know specifically with the economy right now, but man, there's nothing's gonna your health. Your health is the most valuable thing on the planet. Period. End of story. No, nothing on this planet should trump your health. Nothing on this planet should trump your health. So if you got to go organic and spend a little bit more time on organic and less on something else, then God damn it, you got to do it, right? You got to do it because it is so important for us to get the healthiest. Now, listen, if you don't even eat vegetables and fruits, then don't worry about going organic. We gotta baby step you, right? Okay, you don't have to be like, oh man, I've never eaten fruits. Now you just want me to go right to organic. Forget about this. No, just get the fruits and vegetables and get the benefit, get the behavior in. But for a lot of us, we want to go organic. Like, you know, for me specifically, you know, Angela went on 160K bike ride the other day. And when she came back, she saw a farmer's market and she brought home a whole bunch of fresh, you know, raspberries, blueberries, blackberries, because generally I go to the, you know, order it or go to the local grocery store and get the organic. But even the organic that's packaged in the grocery store versus what you get at the farmer's market or, you know, one of those side markets or like, you know, we have like, just like a little fruit stand or a, you know, vegetable stand. Oh, it's night and day. It's night and day, believe me. So going out for a little stocking up on those things would be great. But, you know, like I say, whole plants are rich in antioxidants. They're rich in nutrients that will strengthen our immune. Of course, no, I don't do that, but I should do that. Joe, I should do that. Whole plants, plant foods. So like, you know, getting the real foods. Here's another thing that I just changed. So generally when I was getting organic like salads, right? So it would have all the things in the salad. Like it would have nutritional yeast, it would have spinach, all of those things, right? And the other day I said, you know what? I can't keep eating that. I'm not, even though it's healthy, I'm just not feeling it. There's something different, right? And I've been doing it for a long time. And on Friday, I said, no, I'm going to go back to making my own salads, fresh salads, chopping up the lettuce, chopping up grabbing real spinach, throwing it in there, you know, chopping up some strawberries, throwing it in there, cucumbers. I love cucumbers, chopping that up, throwing it in there, you know, olive oil, boom, in there, tomatoes in there, a little bit of lemon in there, and then feta cheese, boom. And when I ate that, the difference was night and day. Like I was like, oh my God, it's so fresh. It's so, you know, because you have to wash it, you make it. There's just there's a different feeling when you're making your food. You know, like chefs, you guys know when you make your food and, you know, it tastes way better. So now that's it. I'm going right back to, yes, it takes 5 minutes to make it. I'm just like, when I was making, I'm like, Jesus, I sacrificed 5, 6, 7 minutes, you know, just because it was easier for me to just grab something that was already made and open it up and put it down. No, man, I can't do that. My body needs that fresh food, and I can feel the difference, like literally feel the difference. So, yeah. And again, eating a colorful diet with fruits and vegetables, obviously better than processed, are good. Of course, we know that the antioxidants that berries come with are great. So, you know, the focus is trying to get a lot of vitamin C, a lot of vitamin B6, a lot of vitamin E. Okay. So vitamin C is essential vitamin for our immune system, right? That's why we're always told, take vitamin C, drink orange juice. It's essential. It's an important part. So getting enough vitamin C is going to be key, you know, when we can, yes, supplementing for sure, but also we can't just rely on the supplementation because it's not going to be enough, right? We can't just rely on the green juice because it's not going to be enough. We still need to get vitamin C from other things because what we don't use, our body will can get rid of easily. So like I said, you can get vitamin C from food, fruits, vegetables, citrus fruits, juice, strawberries, bell peppers, broccoli, kale, spinach. Those are good for your vitamin C. Another immune boosting vitamin is B6. So again, a water soluble vitamin that isn't made in the body. So we do need to get it from outside. We do need to eat foods that are rich in B6 because again, we need it for it is one of those immune boosters. So you'll get B6 from chicken, you'll get B6 from turkey, from salmon, from tuna, green vegetables, chickpeas. So it definitely strengthens your immune. Vitamin E, so that's another fat soluble vitamin. It's a powerful antioxidant. You do not supplement with vitamin E, right? So don't get an actual vitamin E supplement unless your doctor tells you to. Get that through food. Yes, maybe your vitamins may have vitamin E in it, but don't get a specific vitamin E supplement. Only if your doctor does. You need to be more careful with vitamin E because it is stored as fat in your body, and if you take too much, it can build up around the organs and build up in dangerous levels. That's why you don't go out and get a vitamin E supplement and take the vitamin E supplement. The only reason you would do that is if your doctor tells you need to get a vitamin E supplement. So that's why with vitamin E, again, if it's in your supplement, it's okay. But a supplement alone, that's all I'm saying. And again, you'll get that from spinach. You'll get vitamin E from nuts, from seeds. So basically, if you're eating this, nutrition, if you're eating healthy, if you're eating whole foods, if you're eating a lot of fruits and vegetables, then you're going to be good. But as I mentioned before, it's important to make sure, right? Take inventory. Vitamin D, supplementing with vitamin D is key. So here's the thing. If I was to talk about supplementing on top of this, definitely supplementing with vitamin D3. That is key because we're already deficient. So getting a good vitamin D3 supplement is great. You still got to go outside and get it. You still should work out outside, but definitely supplementing. Supplementing with a multivitamin. Again, because our foods, if we're not going out to the farmer's market on an ongoing basis where we're going to get that real organic food that's not, overtaken by, all of our soil is getting worse on, as from years ago. So, a carrot from 30 years ago, like when we were younger, it doesn't have the same amount of nutrients that a carrot does today. And that's just because of the soil health. So, supplementing specifically during this time would be key as well. Okay, let's go to eating healthy fats. So this is a no-brainer because we already do this. 80% of our immune system is found in the gut. Okay, I'm going to repeat that. 80% of our immune system is found in your gut. So we've got to keep our gut healthy, 100%. Because when it's not, our immune system's weaker and it's more susceptible to infection and tougher to fight off infections. So a healthy gut. I mean, we hear that a lot too. I mean, I talk about it all the time. You got to keep your gut healthy. It's not just about the gut health for your brain or the gut health for, just getting rid of, just health in general, but it's for your immune system as well. So healthy fats are a great anti-inflammatory property. Of course, we eat healthy fats for the good cholesterol that we need for our testosterone, but we also need those healthy fats, and they also have other roles, which is an anti-inflammatory property. So olive oil, nuts, fatty fishes are great. These are great foods that help lower our body's inflammation, because inflammation is a natural response to stress or injury, right? So that's why whenever we're injured, you always hear me saying, guys, make sure your nutrition's on point, because you got to keep inflammation down so that if you're injured in a specific area, the blood needs to get to that injury so it recovers properly. But if you're eating inflammatory foods or you're overworking the injured part of your body too much, then it's going to take it much longer to recover. It's going to take you much longer to recover. It's going to take that much longer to get better. So keeping chronic inflammation out. Some inflammation is good, 100%, but it's a chronic inflammation, right? So which is caused by high fat foods, which is caused by processed foods, all of these things. So olive oil is great. It's linked to lowering the risk of type 2 diabetes, lowering the risk of heart disease. And then, of course, omega-3 fatty acids, right? I talk about supplementation. If you're not getting enough cold water fish on an ongoing basis, like if you don't eat it daily, then you're going to need omega-3s, and you're going to need to supplement with omega-3s. That's another supplement, not just for gut health, not just for immune, but also for testosterone as well. So getting those healthy fats are going to be key. And then on top of that, so I'm going to just pile on top of the healthy gut is a probiotic, right? Probiotic rich foods. Now, these are type of foods that not a lot of people eat, right? Yogurt. If you're lactose intolerant like I am, then yogurt's out of the question. But kimchi, sauerkraut, kefir, natto, these are great probiotic foods, right? They keep the bacteria that are live in your gut healthy and making sure that your digestive system works properly. But not all of us eat that. Like, I don't eat kimchi. I don't eat sauerkraut on an ongoing basis. I don't eat kefir or drink kefir or whatever on an ongoing basis. That's why I take a probiotic, because I know, and you should know, the importance of our gut. Now knowing that 80% of your immune system is in your gut, that should be a no-brainer, right? Sure, get those things when you can. Get the yogurt, and if you can eat lactose, you want yogurt with protein in it. You want kimchi when you can, sauerkraut, all that stuff. But you also want to make sure that your gut is healthy on an ongoing basis. So a probiotic is super important. The gut health and immunity are closely related, right? Research suggests that a healthy gut bacteria population, so your biome, that's the biome is in your gut. That's what the population is. Like, think of a biome as a city, right? So that's your city is in your gut. When that biome, that population, that bacteria is healthy, it will help improve your immune system. It'll not only just your immune system, but your digestion, your bloating, everything else. It'll help tell your system when there's healthy body cells coming in and when there's harmful invaders coming in. So getting a probiotic supplement is key. And also, there was a study that showed that people who were infected, now I don't know what the rhinovirus is, but this study was a virus infection. Those who took a probiotic supplement had a stronger immune response and lowered levels of your virus. So, once again, it's just, yes, get those probiotic rich foods when you can, but also get a probiotic as well, because it is the gut. Again, the gut is not just related to your immune, but it's related to your hormones. It's related to your brain. It's related to everything. This should be a no-brainer, specifically during this time. Okay, so I wouldn't say all the time, because we do have guilt-free meals, but during the time, depending on where you live, if there's a lot of people getting sick, this is the time you want to limit your external sugar, right? In fact, get rid of it. Processed foods, sugar. We all know that sugar is bad in so many different ways. We all know that processed foods are bad in so many different ways. But when it comes to obesity, when it comes to your immune system, it will destroy it. It will destroy it. So we got to make sure that we're cutting all the extra sugar in, right? We're going to get sugar from food already. We're going to get it from, like, most foods are made with sugar. There's sugar in most foods. That's why we try to get, eat it as whole foods as possible. But there's already sugar in specific things that we add. But I'm talking the added sugar that we put on, the added sugars, spoonfuls of sugar we put in our coffee, or the processed foods that we have, right? When we cut all of that stuff out, it's of course going to keep us leaner. It's of course going to reduce getting type 2 diabetes and heart disease, but it'll also strengthen our immune system. So, and all these conditions, obesity, diabetes, heart disease, are all known to weaken our immune system, and of course, our entire health. So we've got to make sure that our diet is an immune boosting diet. Again, just during this time, really think about what you're eating, and just think twice when you're about to eat it if it's a little bit suspect. Hydration, right? Hydration. This is the time to get back to a gallon and a half a day, 2 gallons even. Drink. Dehydration is a huge cause of killing your immune, but not just when I say killing your immune, decreasing the strength of your immune, but also when you're dehydrated, when you're not getting a gallon to a gallon and a half a day of water, not through anything else but good old fashioned water, it's going to reduce your physical performance. Your mood's going to be off, your focus, your digestion, your heart, your kidney function, everything, your testosterone, everything. Dehydration is going to cause inflammation. It is just one of those things that I said the sleep is the number one thing we can do. It's hydration right off the bat. Like, I've seen people lose weight just from getting more hydrated, like right off the bat, right? Water weight specifically. Some people think, if I drink too much water, yeah, you hold on to a bit, but then your body goes, oh, I'm getting enough water, so I don't have to hold on to it. So let me release it. Let me get rid of it. Let me get it out. 1 gallon to 2 gallons a day. Drink. Yes, you're going to be the pee person. You're going to be the person who pees all the time. The other day I think I peed 4 times on our hike yesterday, easily. And that was an hour hike. So there you go. I was just whipping it out everywhere. It didn't matter. And I don't care. If we're driving, and I tell this story a lot, but I always tell Angela, okay, if I ask you to pull over, it's literally because I'm at the end. Like, I've held it too long. Right. I need you to pull over. So, how many times have I pulled over and run out of the car and pee in the middle of, in a little bush? I don't care. My health is way more important than that. So I could care less. So yes, you're going to be the pee person. You're going to be getting up to pee, but that's just because you are drinking enough water. Now, if you weren't drinking enough water and you're doing that, that's a totally different thing. That's something you have to go see your doctor about. But, a hint that you're not getting enough water is you're getting headaches, or your pee is really rich yellow. Now, if you start taking a multivitamin, like let's say you start taking vitamins or what have you, you're going to see your pee get really bright. That's not because you're dehydrated. That's just the effects of the vitamins that you're taking or the supplementation that you may be taking. So don't panic. But if you go pee and you see that it's a rich yellow, then you know that you're dehydrated. Your pee should be pale to clear, right? Pale to clear. Pale yellow, urine to clear. That means, okay, I've got enough in me right now. That doesn't mean you stop. It just means, okay, I got enough. I'm hydrated. I'm good, right? So water is the best because it doesn't have any calories. And, again, you don't want to get it through fruit juice and so, well, you definitely don't want to be drinking juices and sodas. There's a time and place for juices. I think the best time and place for juices is after your workouts, because your body needs all of that stuff. Like, after your workouts, that's the best time to, coconut water, any type of juice, Gatorade, like that sort of thing after a workout. That's the only time I would take that, because your body is primed to digest it properly. It's primed. Any other time, it's not. Like I know when I used to play volleyball, I used to drink Gatorade all day long because we were sponsored by Gatorade. So I would drink it all day long. I would barely drink water. And then I started to come down. I would start to cramp up a lot. And the last time was in a final. It was a final that I had that I completely cramped. And, they had to give me salt or whatever in the ambulance. Anyways, that was a very big aha moment for me, because the doctor told me that, it's because he goes, what if you had to drink? What if you had to eat today? I'm like, I've been drinking Gatorade. It's like all day long, no water. I'm like, yeah, it's like 100 degrees outside. Like, no. Gatorade is for after, not during, and not all day long, right? So let that be a lesson. Gatorade is not what you've been drinking all day long. It's water all day long. Gatorade maybe just after the training. But anyways, the point I'm trying to make is water, healthy, good water. Not all of these marketed, I've got HO2 water and this, because again, they're going to come at you with a whole bunch of funky type of water, right? Different types of water. This is better water. This has got oxygen in it. Isn't H2O have oxygen in it already? No, this is extra. Like, they're going to come at you with all this stuff. Just drink water, period. And get a water filter if you can. Get a nice big water filter, water jug right there. Get one of those bad boys. That'll help. Definitely get one of those. Because you'll also have to lug up the water jugs up to your house all the time. So you'll get jacked. You'll get jacked. All right. So like I said, staying hydrated is going to be key. When water helps with our lymph system, water helps carry all of this stuff to our immune system, all the cells, all the white blood cells. So even, eating specifically now, cucumbers, melons, celery, this is a perfect time for that, right? Try to avoid diuretics or water reducing substances too much, like caffeine, too much caffeine. That's gonna get you dehydrated, right? Adding pink salt is good specifically. Yeah, that's great. So again, getting that water is key. And that's one of the things that a lot of people don't get enough of. But, even if you have to buy one of those big, gallon jugs or one of those jugs and just have it beside you throughout the day. It's so funny because back in the day when you go to the bodybuilding gyms, when we were in our 20s and you see all the bodybuilders walking around with that big, huge, massive jug of water, they would always have that. They didn't have the small, they would have the big, huge jug and they would put it down. They knew something we didn't know. So another immune booster is reducing stress. Right. Again, we talk about this all the time, but I cannot stress how much it is important to reduce our stress. There is a strong link between our immune system and our mental health, right? Stress and anxiety make poor germ fighters, right? They keep us anxious. Anxious thoughts lower our immune system. Just even a little bit, even a half an hour of being anxious, being like, oh my God, that will kill that immune, right? Constant stress makes it tougher for you to fight off viruses, right? Stress produces cytokines, which are molecules that trigger inflammation. Remember, we talked about that inflammation. Inflammation reduces our immune response. Inflammation reduces T levels. Too much inflammation makes us more susceptible to getting injured when we work out. Right? Like, imagine if your knee is blown up with water and it's all inflamed, and then you're going to try to do a workout, burpees, right? That's just you're setting yourself up for injury. So we want to make sure that we attack the stress. We try to get rid of that stress as quickly as we can. We keep gratitude journals, we keep meditating, we keep mindfulness, yoga, things that help us suppress, good music, things that will help you relax, right? Our body produces when we have chronic stress or chronic anxiety, our body produces stress hormones that will decrease our immunity, right? So we just have to, there was a lot of, as I mentioned before, I've mentioned this before, there's the stress of this whole pandemic and now what's going on in specific parts of the world with, inflation and everything else. There's a lot of things going on, even more. It's crazy, but it's always back here. And we got to try not to feed into that by watching it all the time, by, having 24-hour news on all day long, right? By it's funny, Angela and I were just going through YouTube the other day and we put on NBC nighttime on the news. And the 7 headlines, like the 7 things they came with were all, death here and shark bite here and this gets bombed here, and like it was just one after the it was just like Angela and I looked at each other. We're like started laughing. Like, can you believe this? Every single headline that they came with was stress, anxiety. Like, you know what I mean? So we can't feed into that. We know it's there. We know what's going on, man. We're men. We're older men. We know what's happening in the world. We understand it. We don't have to feed into it. So staying away from that as much as possible. Sure, jump on for 5-10 minutes, see what's happening, see what's going on in your city and what's going around your life. But don't feed into that stuff because it will kill you. It will kill you, and it's very easy to get into it. And we again, just another note. I want you guys to remember this: that what you click on your Facebook or in your Instagram, that continues to feed into your your feed. So if one day, for instance, you had your friend clicks something on about freaking the pandemic or something, let's just talk about that. Clicks on, and you're like, oh, that's fun, and then you may have just clicked on and looked at it for 2 minutes and then just freaking clicked it off again. You're gonna start seeing that stuff slowly pop up more and more, and you're like, oh, why is and then you're gonna think, why is everyone talking about this? Meanwhile, everyone's not talking about it. It's just what's getting fed into your feed, right? Same with Instagram. Sometimes if I click something and then I haven't seen something in a while and I keep seeing the same thing, why do I keep seeing freaking the same type of stuff all the time? I only clicked, and I'm like, oh shit, yeah, I clicked on that one person's thing, and now this is all I see. So be aware of that. It's not what everyone's talking about. It's what they're feeding you. Okay, that's Instagram, Facebook, all that's YouTube. Just be aware of that. So, wait a minute, this may not be everything. And then you'll see quickly when you click on something else, all of a sudden you're going to see everything else. When you click on it, if you haven't seen your buddy post for a while, it's not because your buddy's not posting. It's because you've been clicking other things and now your buddy's feed's not coming in. So just be aware of that stuff. Because when you're aware, you can quickly, wait a minute. Why am I getting all these dog rescue things or whatever it is? I don't know. But, just be aware of that. So stress is, we talked about this last week too, just doing everything we can to keep our stress levels down when we can, just keeping our stress levels down, finding a routine that you can do on a daily basis, spending some time alone, in your positive thoughts, thinking more positively, which we'll start with those gratitude journals, writing down things that you're happy with, taking the time tonight. I'll leave this to you again. I'll remind again tonight before you go to sleep tonight, write down the 3 things that you have to get done tomorrow. You don't have to do that tonight, but it probably would be better tonight so that you don't fall asleep with it. Before you go to sleep tonight, take 10 minutes. What are the 3 things I want to get done tomorrow? The 3 most important things, and then put a small plan. Okay, I got to pick up Brenda from school. So I'll talk to my boss, let her know I got to leave early, blah, blah, blah. So when you have that plan already in place, you don't go to sleep with that plan. And when you wake up, you're not stressed about, oh my God, I got this to do today, and I got this to do today, and I got this to do today. You already planned it out. So you already know what's happening tomorrow. So you can sleep. You can get that 7 to 9 hours sleep. You can wake up fresh. You can have your water. You can go outside, get the vitamin D, maybe do a little bit of a walk, maybe do a 5-minute funk. You go eat, you go shower, you go eat, maybe have a little bit of meditation, whatever. And then you attack the day. You attack the day because you already know what's happening. And when other things come up and pop up, which they do, you still have your plan in place. So you can take that thing and compartmentalize it. Say, hey, oh yeah, you know what? You want me to get this done at 4:00? Unfortunately, I can't get it done by 4:00 because I've got to go pick up my daughter or my son. That's something that's already there because it's already planted in your mind that you've already set this in place. Sometimes when we don't set it in place, that thing that someone wants you to do at 4:00 takes heed. Next thing you know, it's 4:00. It's like, oh shit, I got to go pick up my kid. That doesn't happen. Planning, and using the night before to do it is perfect. Again, it's not going to work every time, but at least when you have a plan of attack for you the next day, it's easier for you to navigate that day. It's easier for you to get through that day. And you check it off that to-do list, right? Okay, I got to pay this tomorrow. I know it's going to be hell. I got to get on the phone with Bell or with Rogers and change my thing to Bell Canada. I know it's going to take a long time to do, but I got to do it. And this is the time I'm going to do it. You know what I mean? Like and now I don't have to worry about that tonight. I don't have to worry about my internet going down or, whatever's happening. So that's it. And then the last thing I'm going to leave you guys with is just any outside things. Like if you're smoking or you drinking, this is definitely, we know that smoking and drinking, kills our immune system, kills our body, the carbon monoxide, the nicotine, the nitrogen oxides from the chemicals that are released in cigarette smoke. And then of course, alcohol too, specifically drinking too much, that leads to liver disease, that leads to illnesses, pneumonia, tuberculosis, certain cancers. So this is the time, not saying forever, but this is the time to look back and go, wait a minute, maybe, and of course, if you take both of those things out, specifically the drinking, you're going to get shredded. I like saying that all the time, but that's the number one thing that keeps most people back from losing that final piece of belly fat. If that's in their life is, and just you feel much better. But again, at a time like this, when, things are starting to ramp up, we just want to make sure that we get rid of the things that we don't need or things that we have to deal with. Those habits that we need to deal with. Maybe it's the time to start dealing with those habits. And start really looking over and making sure that we're getting enough sleep, that we're handling the stress, trying to reduce that chronic stress, that we're exercising, which we'll do, that we're staying hydrated, that we're getting rid of the processed foods and the sugars for now, that we are eating probiotics, taking the supplementation, that we eating whole foods as much as possible, organic foods as much as possible, and staying active and getting 7 to 9 hours sleep. That's it. And once we do that, then if you think about your immune system like an orchestra, like an orchestra. Think of your immune system like a freaking orchestra, right? An orchestra has the flutes, it's got the brass, it's got all of the different instruments. And in order for all these instruments, in order for the sound to come out beautifully, everyone's got to be on tune. One person can't be playing more than the other. The trumpet can't be overplaying the bass or the clarinet. Everyone's got to be playing perfectly together, right? So what do? That's your immune system. Your immune system is an orchestra. You got to make sure all these pieces are in place so that your immune plays a beautiful serenade on an ongoing basis. And when someone wants to come in and try to take that away, whether it's a virus or fungus or whatever it is, even if we get it, we're going to be hard to take down. Even if we get it, we're going to recover faster, right? We're going to be back to work, back to our family, back to training. We're gonna come back again and again, and we're gonna continue to get stronger as long as we keep that. This is the only thing that exactly harmony. Thank you, Ed. That's the word I was looking for. A beautiful harmonic symphony. Yeah, man, it's key. And that's what we need to do. That's what we need to do. We just need to focus on that specifically now. So I just wanted to get back, get the supplementation, get the men's daily stack, probiotic, omega-3s, alpha daily. I gotta tell what's her name to get me some more alpha daily, and the vitamin D3. That's a perfect stack. Listen, it's not the sexy stack that's going to get you jacked and you're going to feel, but it is for us as we get older. It's a must. It really is. It's just one of those things that our food's not going to get us enough of, and we need to make sure that we have that security, that insurance for us. We want to be as healthy as we can. Remember, we're living till we're 100, right? So, and we're not living till we're 100 in wheelchairs. We're living till we're 100 doing, push-ups, sit-ups, and pull-ups, killing all those young whippersnappers. You know what I mean? That's what we're doing. I'm gonna kill all those young whippersnappers. Anyways, guys, that was fun. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Much love. Yeah, have an amazing day.